The Sounders have not looked like a championship contender in the last month. The thinking was a couple weeks off might help get them healthy, fix a few things. But today in Montreal, plus du problème. That's French, I think, for more problems. I looked it up. They began in the 20th minute, did the problems. Montreal's best player, Philippe, with a great shot, just curling one past the far post. Brian Meredith, no chance. 1-0 impact at the half. And now watch this dribbling exhibition here. Not good defense from the Sounders. Oh, man, somebody check that guy. While golf was wrapping up on one television, Game 3 of the NBA Finals going down to the fourth quarter on another television, and people around here wondering if I was doing any work. Second quarter, Kevin Durant with a straightaway three-pointer, continuing his hot shooting. This is work. Game was tied at 38. Durant with 25 points, but KD overshadowed by LeBron tonight in the corner with a three. They were up 2 heading into the fourth quarter, and in the fourth, the driving layup and the foul right over Durant. LeBron had 29 points. Miami hit 31 free throws as well, more than double the Thunder. Russell Westbrook missed a three-pointer that would have tied it. The Heat hung on for a 91-85 win. They lead the series 2-1. Well, Steve, here in Occidental Park, all there are left are a bunch of these signs here. Bring them back, and a bunch of balloons hanging here. But the show of support even surprised investor Chris Hansen. A lot of those green and gold clad fans went into the bars here at Pioneer Square after the rally to watch Game 2 of the NBA Finals. Chris Hansen says that basketball support will help, but there's still a lot of work to do. Well, so much for Friday's no-hitter giving the M's a boost. Non-existent offense at Safeco is killing what could be a respectable season. How bad is it? The Mariners, the only team in the majors with an average below 200 at home. No, they lost to a team that scored the most points ever in any bowl, so that's what it took. Records broken left and right. Any record, you name it, it was pretty much broken tonight. And you can imagine being a defensive player on the field tonight. We talked to a couple of Husky defenders. The Mariners are on record as saying they oppose a new arena, which would be built just blocks from Safeco Field here, right down the street. All right, now let's shift gears to a game earlier today. Contrast in styles, the offense and three-point shooting of Florida. They led the nation in that category this year against the tough defense of Louisville. So tough they held Michigan State to 44 points, which is an all-time low for a #1 seed. Head coach Rick Pitino knew his team would have to be active to guard the three-point line, and they didn't do it in the first half. The Gators came out with deadly accuracy from behind that three-point line, and I do mean deadly. Bradley Beal started the game with a three. Irving Walker hit one later in the first half. Florida had 8 threes in the first half. Welcome back once again. Cameron Dollar joining us. His inside always valuable, the head coach at Seattle University, and we're breaking down the South bracket. It's been interesting because Duke went out early, first round, so that's kind of opened things up. Xavier thought they might make a run. Today taking on Baylor, and a tough early going for Xavier. They were down 22-6 in this game. Baylor's really good.
Yeah, they didn't hit the alarm button, that's for sure. They overslept there to start off with.
I mean, that's a monster jam right there from Quincy Acey. He played above the rim all night long. How about that one on the inbounds play? 20 points and 15 boards for Acey. I'm telling you, it's like Bourbon Street down here at the Alamo Dome. And let me just take you down the street here and show you what's going on. We got lots of purple and gold, lots of green and gold. A lot of Baylor fans now. The Husky fans, I think they're already inside. And in fact, the Husky fans have been out here all day long. And here's some video we shot of the preparations. You got to have food, you got to have drinks, you got to have your face painted for all that stuff. And in fact, Husky fans have been coming from all over the country, but nobody is going to beat Patrick Jones, who came all the way from Indonesia.
I'm teaching English at an international school.
Well, it has certainly been an embarrassing homestand, and many observers are blaming the poor offense on Safeco Field, saying the fences are too far away, but Eric Wedge is having none of that. Tonight, they'll try and snap a 6-game losing streak when they face former Husky Tim Lincecum. Last night, the Giants got home runs from Buster Posey and Melky Cabrera, and these days, when a team has a 4-0 lead on the M's, it's pretty much over. Ryan Vogelsong, he did the rest on the mound. 7 innings of 4-hit baseball. He struck out 6. It's a familiar refrain for Mariner fans, and Wedgie said it all comes down to the fact that the M's are not taking advantage of their opportunities.
When you load the bases in that situation later, and you had some opportunities early, and he was a little erratic against us. Obviously a good pitcher. He's pitching well, but we had some opportunities and didn't do anything with them.
Yeah, they didn't get to Vogelsong early. Batting average and wins at home the worst in the major leagues, and this homestand has been especially bad, averaging 2 runs a game and only 3 homers. Skip wants more effort.
We're doing a much better job on the road, and the last road trip in particular, and you know, we've got to get over that hump here. We're going through a tough stretch. You know, we had some hard outs, you know, but these guys got to make their own breaks. You know, we need people to step up.
No excuses. Pretty good game down in Oakland this afternoon. Padres slugger Carlos Quentin got into a fastball in the 6th inning to cut the A's lead down to a run, and it was tied at 4 in the 7th when Johnny Gomes pinch hitting. He went yard. A 2-run shot turned out to be the difference. After their sweep here at Safeco, the Padres maybe get swept themselves after a 6-4 loss. That'll happen tomorrow, possibly. Elsewhere, Cliff Lee looking for that elusive first win in 2012. He had a 5-2 lead in the 8th, but the Blue Jays rallied big time. They doubled to left field, tied the game, and then a little bit later, Philly bullpen could not hold off the Jays. In the 10th, Rajai Davis with a walk-off single. Jays come from 3 down to win their 2nd straight versus Philly. In Washington, the Nationals have had a tough time with the Yankees. Ian Desmond homered in the 8th to tie the game at 3. That's a 400-foot blast for Desmond. But in the 14th inning, Mark Teixeira with a laser to right field had scored 2 runs. That was the difference. The Yankees go for the sweep tomorrow in the nation's capital. We'll see if it happens there. After this week's mini camp, the Seahawks now have some time to evaluate before fall camp starts in late July. The coaches got another look at Brian Banks, the former high school star who was wrongly imprisoned and now wants his shot at the NFL. Whether he'll be offered a contract or not, we're not sure. That may come later. As for the quarterback competition, outspoken defensive back Richard Sherman had a few thoughts on who he was impressed with, and it starts with rookie Russell Wilson.
I think he's gotten a lot more comfortable since, you know, when I first saw him come in day one, he went out there with the ones and you could see it in his eyes. His eyes were a little wide, you know, seeing us move around a little bit. But now he's out there, you know, calling everything, looking out there, and he sees what he wants to see, and he's getting it in there.
That's good news. Finally, the Seattle Storm look like they've made some strides after an uncharacteristic 1-7 start to the season. They did take care of business last night in Tulsa, winning their 2nd of the year. Tomorrow, it gets much, much tougher as the defending WNBA champ Minnesota Lynx come to Key Arena. They are 10-0. That's the best start in WNBA history, and they've already beaten the Storm pretty badly twice this year. Now to the NBA, an off day for the Miami Heat and the Oklahoma City Thunder as they work out in Miami. Tomorrow, a big Game 3 with the series tied at a game apiece. Kevin Durant, he's getting his points, but he says the Heat are doing a much better job than his team on the boards, and also his team needs to get off to a better start.
We just have to play harder to start the games. We have to play harder. You know, we doing it a little too late. We watched the film first, 10 minutes of the game. We kind of relaxed. I don't know why, but, I think we will after watching that. It was tough to watch.
That series is going 7 games. That's my prediction. Coming up at 6:50, an update on the U.S. Open. Great weather down in San Fran. And in Montreal, the Sounders trail 1-0 at the half.